Marketing in 2025 is wild. Savvy customers spot fake messaging instantly, privacy changes make ad targeting a nightmare, and everyone needs more content than ever. That's why you have to check out HubSpot's new marketing trends report. It doesn't just show you what's changing, it shows you exactly how to deal with it. Everything's backed by research, but focused on marketing plays you can use tomorrow. You ready to turn marketing hurdles into results? Go to clickhubspot.com/marketing to download it for free. Good morning, everybody. Today's Monday, March 24th. I'm Jon Weigell here with Martina Bretous and Maria Gharib, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. In quite a shocking move, OpenAI and Google are fighting for lighter AI regulations. Yeah, shocker there. On top of that, we have updates on a big Sony decision that ruffled some feathers and how AI may contribute to wealth inequality. We're going into all that and much more today in your AI update for the week. But first, let's give you the news in business and tech. To start us off with yogurt, Chobani is investing $500 million in a 500,000 square foot expansion to its Twin Falls, Idaho facility. It's expected to increase yogurt, oat milk, and creamer production by 50% and create 160 jobs at least. That is a lot of oat milk. Next, London's Heathrow Airport came to a standstill on Friday after a fire at an electrical substation took out all of its power. Aviation experts predict days of travel disruptions that could affect over 1,300 flights, 145,000 passengers, and cost airlines millions of dollars. Heathrow is not a small airport. If you've ever been there, I have. In 2023, it was the world's fourth busiest airport, seeing 83.9 million passengers. Yeah, not a small place. But something that is definitely not small, Twitter's 12-foot-tall, 560-pound bird logo, as known as Larry, sold at auction for $34.3 thousand to an unknown buyer. The bird once hung on Twitter's San Francisco HQ, but was removed after Elon Musk took over and changed the platform's name to X, as we all know. And finally, companies are throwing millions of dollars at streaming services nowadays, and Quartz revealed a top 10 list of the most expensive ones of all time. I'm going to give you the top three. The top three are as follows. Number 3, Disney Plus's Secret Invasion at $35.3 million per episode. That's a Marvel thing. I haven't heard of it. Second is Amazon Prime's Citadel at $50 million per episode. And first place is Amazon Prime's Lord of the Rings of Power, spending $58 million per episode to make that thing. So Amazon Prime spending big on streaming. So, if you're listening to this podcast, you are more than likely thinking about business ideas. Every entrepreneur has a million ideas vying for attention in their brain, and there's probably that one idea you can't stop thinking about. You know, the one that came to you at 2 a.m. that you got up and wrote down somewhere. Well, I'm here to tell you that that idea could be worth $5,000 right now. The Hustle and Indie Hackers are teaming up to find the next great founder and get them started with $5,000. All you got to do is record a 60-second video pitch telling us your business idea, how it makes money, and why it's awesome. One winner gets $5,000 cash plus promotion to millions of Hustle readers. Make sure you enter by April 4th at thehustle.co/bigbreak. That's thehustle.co/bigbreak. You can also click the link in the show notes of this episode. The winner will be announced on April 11th right here on the Hustle Daily Show, the Hustle newsletter, and on the Hustle's social accounts. Now get to pitching. Okay, so this week, Martina is back with Maria from the Mindstream newsletter, and they're talking all about the AI updates that you gotta know. So take it away, friends.
Hi, Maria. It's great to have you back on the show.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
I want to kick things off today with a little bit of weird AI. So what is a weird, maybe unexpected use of AI that you've come across lately?
Where to start? It's been a whole month filled with weird AI. You know, the AI world has been serving up some seriously bizarre content lately. The latest one was Mark Cuban, who decided to basically curse everyone and our feeds with an AI-generated fever dream titled Make America United Again. So it was like a mix of a lot of people hugging each other. It was like AI kind of threw a party and everyone was invited to it. But, it was weird.
Was it a video?
It was on Blue Sky. I think we can link people to it. It was really, really bizarre. We spoke about it in the Mindstream newsletter.
So on Blue Sky, he posted a bizarre AI-generated video of people, and the context was AI was coming to the party. A bunch of people were coming to the party. I think it's hilarious that you called it, you're like, blessed us, and then it's a curse.
It was a lot of people. It was Elizabeth Warren, Nancy Pelosi, President Trump, Obama. Everyone was in it. There was also a scene where Cuban kind of like was chilling with Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg and Musk, and like everyone was in it. It was really weird.
So he was trying to, I guess, unite all politicians, all public figures that are known to be really AI versed.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely want to see that. Okay, what else?
There was also this YouTuber who went kind of viral by churning out an AI-generated crime story that are very disturbing and they are kind of hyper-sexual in a sense. So it was inspired by Dateline, and I think he used ChatGPT to craft these plot lines. So initially, views were kind of like, meh. But you have like the label, AI-generated label, just to tell people that it was AI-generated or not.
Right.
When he ditched that, the channel kind of blew up. So now everyone's just jumping on that bandwagon and using AI to pump out like wild content for clicks. But, the creators of an AI-generated George Carlin special learned out the hard way when their content got nuked after a lawsuit. So people need to be careful. If it's AI-generated, put in a label so people don't get confused. There was also, I don't know if you've seen it, but TikTok was kind of like raving about it. There was a humanoid robot that came to life. And the thing about TikTok is that they put these like music in the background where it sounds very creepy. And so everyone was just like, yeah, no.
So I did see that video of the humanoid robot, and I think the music definitely played a role in how I perceived it. Obviously, we know music can impact emotions and how you view things. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is very creepy. But then I put it on mute and I was like, actually, we've seen things like this before. We've seen robots take human form, take dog form, and it's just something that researchers have been experimenting with for a while. And it's not as creepy as we think it is, but put any song behind it, and I think it'll create an impact.
100%. Yeah.
So now I want to switch over to some outrage that Sony has been experiencing after they created an AI-powered version of a really popular video game character called Aloy from Horizon.
Yeah.
So what is your take on AI usage in the gaming industry? Because I know people were really upset about the fact that they created this AI-powered version, which apparently was just leaked. It wasn't something that they've released yet, but they've been toying around with it internally. And the video got leaked. And even the person who plays Aloy spoke out about it. So what's your take on all of this?
So Sony's been dabbling in some AI wizardly kind of crafting an AI-powered prototype. So this isn't just like a run-of-the-mill NPC. We're talking about like a character that can hold a dynamic conversation with players, thanks to integrations like OpenAI's Whisper for speech-to-text and GPT for dialogue. It's pretty advanced. So Sony's own tech, like their emotional voice synthesis system and like the Mockingbird for facial animation, if I'm not mistaken, adds to that mix. So now, while this sounds like a futuristic leap for gaming, not everyone, as you said, was really happy. Some gamers are side-eyeing this move, like they were worried that AI characters might feel less authentic, that it could lead to a slippery slope where human creativity in game design takes like a backseat. There's also a concern about data privacy. How much info and how much data does this AI needs to create these personalized interactions? We've all seen AI go off the rails sometimes. Nobody really wants their favorite game character spewing out-of-pocket comments because the AI had like a glitch. But on the flip side, AI has the potential to revolutionize the gaming experience. Just imagine NPCs that adapt to your playstyle and they offer like a unique quests based on your decisions. And even remember past interactions to build a more immersive narrative. I think people would be excited about that. So but at the end, it's all about like a balance.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, you brought up a few good points there. Some of the personalization and customization that you brought up sounded really, really interesting. If I was a gamer, I'd like to think I would think that's really cool. So we'll just have to see what happens there. Now, switching over to the big AI players, we can't talk about AI without covering them. News came out that OpenAI and Google are trying to get more lenient regulation around AI use. They seem to be fighting against the implementation of stricter copyright laws, to critics' dismay. What arguments are they actually making?
So OpenAI and Google are basically asking the government to chill out on the AI rules, especially when it comes to copyright and data usage. So their biggest argument is national security. They claim that if the US doesn't let the AI company freely train on copyrighted material, China will pull ahead in AI development. And their pitch is basically, let's use all data so we're not falling behind. They're saying that strict copyright laws are stifling innovation, that AI models need massive amount of data to improve, and limiting these kinds of stuff could slow the progress. So in my opinion, I would say that there's a point there, but also obviously not everyone's really buying it. We have over 60 major news outlets that have slammed this push. A lot of people are calling it license to steal from journalists and creators. So not everyone is, on board with that. We have also Hollywood, who isn't really thrilled. A lot of people in Hollywood aren't very happy about it. We have hundreds of stars, which includes Ben Stiller and Cate Blanchett. And, they've urged the government to uphold copyright laws, arguing that, their work shouldn't be used to train AI without permission or compensation. So I would understand also their point of view. I think there should be a middle ground where all of them should meet and discuss this out rather than holding these kind of tug war between each other. So while OpenAI and Google are waving the flag of innovation and national security, there's a growing chorus in the background shouting back about, the need to protect creators and maintain fair compensation. So it's a high stakes tug of war. And it's between a lot of tech giants and content creators, and where it lands should really shape the future of AI development and intellectual property rights.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've talked about this a lot, right? Creators voicing their concerns about how these AI companies are using copyrighted material.
Yeah.
And so you're right, it is going to have to be a big conversation between them to preserve the integrity of the work that these creators are doing while still fostering a spirit of innovation where these AI companies can kind of dive into new things. So it'll be interesting to follow that.
Yeah.
And I want to switch gears to a research report that came out recently about AI. This one said that AI automation is going to increase wealth inequality, which is pretty worrisome. But apparently that's not the full story, and it's much more nuanced than that. Break it down for us.
Yeah. So, AI is definitely shaking up the economy. And there's this big debate about whether it's going to make rich people even richer while everyone else gets left behind. The new study says automation is already a major factor in widening the wealth gap. Basically, robots are stealing jobs, quote unquote, low income workers are feeling it the most. But I think there's a plot twist in this. Not all AI is bad news. So the study also says that AI, it could help workers rather than replace them. And it can actually, close that gap that we're seeing that people are very nervous about. So if we lean into AI, that could help us with productivity instead of just cutting the costs, quote unquote layoffs. It could be an economic game changer instead of an absolute job killer. In my opinion, it's not about if AI is coming for the jobs. It's about how we use it. The more people could embrace AI, the more they could understand that it's here to help rather than here to steal jobs. The normal job that we used to do back at that time, that was just, something we're used to, AI could help you do it, and it can help you do it faster so you can do something else. So companies that invest in AI, it needs to work with people rather than replace them. And it could actually reduce inequality instead of making it way, way worse.
Right. And that's something we've talked about a lot, of course. AI not necessarily replacing people, but replacing the routine tasks that they do and giving them the space to focus on higher priority, higher impact work. Well, that's a great note to end on. Thank you so much, Maria. Always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Martina.
All right, and that'll do it for us today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of HubSpot Media. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a ton more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go sign up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at The Hustle Daily. We will catch you tomorrow. Hey, everybody. I've been listening to this awesome podcast lately. You know it. You love it. My First Million, hosted by Sam Parr and Sean Puri, is brought to you by the HubSpot Podcast Network, the audio destination for business professionals. My First Million features famous guests like Alex Hormozi, Sophia Amoruso, and Hassan Minaj, sharing their secrets on how they made their first $1 million and how to apply their learnings to capitalize on today's business trends and opportunities. Talk about somebody that's really in the now. They had on Mr. Beast recently, and Mr. Beast talked about his origin story and how he made his first $1 million and how you can make anything go viral if you really try to do it, which is a great listen. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. You can catch all the recent episodes whenever you want, and you can listen to My First Million wherever you get your podcasts.